I'd like you to give a warm welcome to Mr. Mike Marumoto.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Right. Okay.
So let me ask a few questions. What's the very, very first thing you need to do to become healthier?
Drink coffee. Drink this coffee.
Before drinking our coffee?
Exercise.
Before exercising?
Eliminate.
Do what?
Eliminate.
Eliminate. Make a decision. No. Yes, make a decision. Okay, before you do anything other than breathing and living, you have to decide to do it. Am I correct? Now let me ask another question. What percentage of people that make a healthy decision in life stick with it past 6 months? Less than 20, less than 10. 2%. If you don't believe me, go to your local gym. How many of you used to have a gym membership? Okay, who has one and doesn't go? Exactly. If you go to your local gym, the one I go to has about 50,000 members. They have 80 cardio machines, 80. They might be open 24 hours a day, but I went there once at 3 a.m. and I was the only person there. Okay? Now if you do the math, that's probably less than 2%. Why do they make you sign up for a year? Is it for your health? No, it's because they know 98% of the people won't show up past the first 6 months. Now here's another question. And if you don't raise your hand on this one, then you're lying. How many of you know somebody that drinks coffee? Everybody, right? Okay. How many of those people that you know that drink coffee forget to drink it? That forget to drink coffee? Nobody. Why? They more than a habit, it's an addiction. Here's a cool question. Isn't it true there's 2 types of addictions?
Yes.
Legal? Illegal, exactly. Now everybody knows a guy, you know, and they're out on every single corner and they're peddling their illegal addictions, correct?
Yes.
Right. Let's talk about legal addictions. For now, let's just call them Starbucks.
Yep.
Aren't they on every single corner too?
Yes.
Well, who's winning?
They are.
How do we know that?
Because we're paying like a lot for a cup of coffee.
Other than being the 2nd largest traded commodity in the United States, the 2nd most consumed beverage in the United States, let me ask another question. When somebody tries to give up smoking, what do they drink more of?
Coffee.
When they try to give up drugs, what do they drink more of?
Coffee.
How about drinking alcohol? What about when they're done drinking alcohol?
Coffee.
What about in the morning after they get the hangover? Coffee. Exactly. We are the last vice people will give up on the road to being healthy. Now, is our coffee good for you? Yes, it is. Do we call it healthy coffee? No. Why? Would you want a healthy Snickers bar?
No.
Healthy potato chips?
No.
I mean, it's a great idea, but it just sounds like it wouldn't taste good. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we call our coffee enriched. Have you ever tried any enriched products?
Yes.
Okay, Gatorade, vitamin water, Monster, orange juice with calcium, pretty much any type of bread you buy nowadays, all enriched, right? Does it taste pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay, have you tried our coffee?
Yes.
Did you spit it out?
No.
No, it was pretty good, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, how do we make our coffee good for you? Well, we enrich it with a botanical called Ganoderma Lucidum. It's also an herb. It's also a mushroom. Okay. Now, these are the 6 mushrooms that we use. Why do we use 6? For those of you that's the first time here, yes, you drank mushroom coffee. Okay? Don't worry, it's not the same mushrooms you had in high school. Those of you who are laughing know what I'm talking about. Okay, why do we use 6? Everybody else only uses 1. Well, through scientific research and study, in fact, thousands and thousands of clinical trials and research that we've done, we found out that 1 targets a certain part of your body. In fact, there's 200 different varieties, all work with your body a little bit different. We use 6 to give you a full body targeted effect, if that makes sense. So let me ask you a question. Which is better, 1 or 6? 6. This is the second thing that we do. Yeah, this is the second thing we do. We extract the nutrients from the seeds or the spores of the mushroom. Why do we do that? Well, one thing I found out just a couple days ago, in order to get the nutrients out of the spores, which is the most nutrient-dense part of the mushroom, you have to actually kind of grind it up, pummel it up, and then you have to soak it for many, many hours in hot liquid. Okay? So if you're just taking the seeds or the spores and putting it in coffee, it's probably not going to work very well. So what we did was we extracted the nutrients for you, still kept it in an organic fashion. And then we put it in coffee so it absorbs easily into the body, which makes it, number 1, measurable, makes it 2, super concentrated, and number 3, makes it absorb better in the body. Does that make sense? Okay, now, what's the difference between our coffee and everybody else's coffee? Well, it's like riding a bicycle or driving a Mercedes, okay? Ours just gets you there faster. And if you're honest with yourself, you'd probably rather drive the Mercedes than the bicycle anyways, wouldn't you? Now, luckily, we're not doing it here in the United States or Latin America. In fact, that's where we have the rights to distribute our product. But guess where 80% of all coffee drinkers live? North and South America, okay? Now, do you know anybody that would like to be healthier?
Yes.
Why don't they do it?
They haven't made the procrastinate.
Okay, let me explain a few things. In my car, I have a volume control on my steering wheel because my arm's too weak to reach that knob, okay? It's the same reason why I go to McDonald's. And if I don't get my food in 4 minutes, I'm upset. You want to get me really angry? Make me get out of my car. Yeah, exactly. Now, the only button on the TV on my TV that I know exists is the one that finds my remote control. Okay? And that's our society today. Like she said, lazy. It just really comes down to that. People say, well, they don't know what to do. Do you know walking around the block a few times and eating vegetables is good for you? Why don't people do it? Lazy. Exactly. And could anything be easier than drinking a cup of coffee?
No.
No. That's what makes our product so unique, is that 80% of Americans are already using it. They're already spending money on it. You know, the average Starbucks user spends about $300 a month on coffee. Okay? So if they come and do business with us, are they going to save money? Absolutely. And in this economic crisis, that's a great thing. Okay, now Ganoderma Lucidum is a very anti-aging herb. Let's talk about anti-aging for a second. Okay, this was me before I started drinking the coffee. Oh, okay, that's not me. That's Mr. Liao. He's the owner and founder of our company. And I had the great privilege of talking with him for about 6 hours, asking him very, very technical questions about our product. Okay, and I got all the answers I could ever want. So that's why I'm the one doing the tour and sharing it with you today. What I found out was in the 1980s, he started studying Ganoderma Lucidum. He's a mycologist, or a person that studies fungus or mushrooms. So that's what he does. His brother's a doctor. They got together and they found out there's over 200 different varieties. And by doing thousands and thousands of clinical research studies and trials on humans, which they can because they did it in Malaysia. I'm just kidding. It's an herb. You could have done it anywhere. They found out the 6 most potent for the human body. They figured out how to tissue culture and or clone the mushrooms and keep it organic. And they also figured out how to extract the nutrients from the spores. Now you can see the timeline here. That's a large gap of time. Did he have to take that much time? The answer is no. Why? The herb has been used for over 4,000 years. We already knew what it would do for you. It's been studied by places like Cornell University. It's on documented sites like PubMed.gov, which is a government research site. Okay? It's very well documented. The reason why he spent so much time developing his product is he wanted to absorb easily in the body. He wanted to have the best product. Okay? I drew 2 conclusions of this. Either he really, really cares about his product, or he's a really, really bad businessman. Now, knowing that his company's doing about $500 million a year now, I'm not taking that he's a bad businessman. If that makes sense. Now, he put it in 1995. He started Gano Excel. He opened up the largest organic plantation for Ganoderma Lucidum in the world. But why did he put it in coffee? Everybody in Asia knows the powerful properties of Ganoderma Lucidum. It's known as Reishi, Lingzhi, Yangji, depending on what type of Asian you are. If you're not Asian, you can call it Ganoderma Lucidum. Okay? But why did he put it in coffee? Does anybody know? Everybody drinks it. Why else?